And instead of using shield, instead of getting defensive, build your own self-confidence and self-compassion. And these are just to end up simple things that you can do. And I challenge you to do one of these every single day because they're easy. They are so easy. They fill the 5 pillars of well-being, and they are positive emotions, so building positive emotions, engaging in life, healthy relationships, finding meaning, and finding achievement. And these are the things you can do. So positive emotions, give and receive gratitude. If you're in the midst of overthinking, instead try and find something or someone to be grateful to or for, because you can't hold that at the same time. That's attention splitting. Okay, 2 cognitive tasks can't be done. Let gratitude win out. So give and receive gratitude. Photograph the positive moments. I do that. I screenshot a lot of stuff, especially any thank yous, any successes that you might have, any happy moments. It might be if you've got your cat, Mustafa. If the cat does something funny, photograph it, look at it, let it make you smile. Set a daily intention. Now, this is something I do every morning, and it allows me to go through my day consciously. I focus every day and I say, right, today I'm going to focus on, and today was long-term planning. That I'm actually not going to work on impulse today, but I'm actually going to think about it and go forward that way. Because the daily intention is there to help us go through our life consciously. Too often we get onto the treadmill and autopilot, and what setting an intention does is it means we actually behave in a chosen conscious manner, not just on habit or also autopilot. So those are some of the ways you can actually boost feelings of positivity. Engagement. Reflect. We've done a lot of reflecting today, but reflect on the things that you used to love. Just now, pop in the chat. What things did you used to do, perhaps that you don't do? Are any of you artists or musicians? Or I had a client who used to run triathlons, but she hadn't run for ages. So are you sports people? What sort of things did you used to love to do? I know some things you cannot do right now, but if you can actually think about some of those things that you used to do, maybe start them again. Don't expect to be brilliant at it. So if you haven't played the piano for a long time and then you suddenly hire one, don't expect to be the standard of a concert pianist. But what you could do is just start playing for fun. If you used to be an artist, then get some pencils out. Maybe invest in a little set or something like that and just draw something, even if it's just a doodle. So think about what you used to love and do it. And also to get engaged, to find that passion again. Reflect on what you love in life right now. Engagement is really, really important, because what we tend to find is if you were used to doing a certain thing and then you are now in a different position, as in you are studying now, we're all online, you might be doing a degree where some of it you love, other bits of it you hate. If there are bits that you really dislike, it's so difficult to get the motivation to actually do them unless we feel engaged. So what you actually need to do is to try and get that sense of engagement back in order to help you be motivated to do the bits you don't like. Just as an example, one of the students who has been to these sessions before spoke about how doing this degree, she feels there's certain bits that drag her down. But what she used to do was she used to be an account manager and be very, very creative with how she actually did things, not illegally, but just because she was working on her own esteem. And so one of the suggestions I had was to just get a bit more creative with maybe how you're writing or what you're writing or what you're reading, or even perhaps where you're sitting. Sometimes just changing position might get you a bit more engaged. So if you are feeling that nothing motivates you right now, try and find out and remember what has motivated you before and engage with that again now. Bring it into your life now. Cherish those healthy relationships. Know who warms your heart. Be friends back to yours. So if they are friends for you and you love their humor or they're passionate about something or their enjoyment or whatever that is, you go and do the same back to them, be a friend back, and check in on them. Even if you haven't heard this from someone for ages, don't wait for them to call. You call them first. Cherish those healthy relationships. We're talking a lot now about checking in on people because it is really, really important, because we haven't seen each other for ages. So check in on them. Seek meaning. Now, this is actually quite an important one, because when we look at our life achievements, and this is very relevant in what we're talking about today with how we set down certain rules or strategies when we were young. If you think back on your life achievements, think about what you found was meaningful. So often we think back on a life achievement and we think about what other people said was meaningful. So just an example, if I look at previous achievements, I would probably say I had a lot of certificates and medals. And my parents found that certificates and medals were a thing. They were very, very important. But actually for me, one of the most meaningful achievements was being able to dive into the swimming pool and pick up a brick from the bottom, because I'm a weak swimmer. But being able to do that, the perseverance, the feeling that I could actually do that was amazing. The ribbon itself meant nothing. So think about what was meaningful to you and actually seek to find that. So in a way now, when I reflect on that, it's not actually the outcome necessarily. It's not necessarily that you get the certificate after attending one of my sessions. But what pleases me the most, what makes me smile the most, is when you say to me that how much you've grown, how much you have developed. That's incredible, because that's what's meaningful to me. And that's something where I want you to think about what's really meaningful to you. If it's helping people, or if it's beauty, or even if it is the limelight, work out what's important to you. And it's okay. It's okay. Don't let other people's voices spoil your fun. And lastly, focus on what you can achieve. And that simply means the little wins. Right now, we're not having a lot of big ones. So savor the small ones. If there's something that you do that you love, remind yourself, hold that moment for another moment, and then do it again. Those things can end up being big, big moments of pleasure. Focus simply on being a little bit better today than you were yesterday. That's all. Remember, if we need to love ourselves and value ourselves, the only person we're really competing with ever is ourselves. So again, every day, just push yourself to be that little bit better, perhaps. Be kind to yourself, and as an achievement, recognize that you were kind to yourself. So if you do often beat yourself up about stuff, or if you do often throw a hissy fit, or if you do often feel anxious and get into an overthinking mode, and you are able to not do those things, and you're able to choose a different outcome, be so proud of that and really recognize that and praise yourself for that. Not because it's just, oh, well done, you did it, but that's part of building your identity as, you know what? I am a person who can learn. I am a person who can grow. And I am a person who can work every day to become just that little bit better. And if that doesn't bring you value, I'm not sure what else could. That's part of loving yourself. So that does bring us to the very last slide. And as well as all of those emotional boosts, please, please look after your physical health as well. We talk a lot about psychology, but you need to eat well, sleep well, get a bit of exercise in if you can. Because when it comes to our physical bodies, so if you remember right from the beginning, when I talked about how stress can cause us all of these physical symptoms, if our physical body breaks, then no matter how joyful or how much positivity or will that we might have up there, it's in somebody else's hands to fix. I want you to take ownership of everything you can for as long as you can. Because when you are in the driving seat, You are able to make the choices. You are able to plot your course, and you are able to succeed at whatever you choose.